down fireblade! Shut down fireblade! Shut down fireblade! Shut down fireblade! This is a criminal family!
Why are you not talking about how they kill them people for their wealth? Why are you so quick to think about parliament? They kill black people! Black money on their head!
This family is a criminal family that is being killed by the taxi industry. Now, fighting one black person. Now, white people.
You ain't about to sit up on this panel and talk shit about Americans, like, not with me up here, not with me being an American, knowing full fucking well that I'm superior to you in every way. I'm smarter than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm faster than you. I've been to more places in your continent. I've been to more places on your continent than you have. Oh, and by the way, my English is immaculate if I choose for it to be immaculate. So I speak better English than you. So you all that we jealous of you, we ain't got nothing to be jealous of. You're ugly, we're better looking than you, we're in better shape than you. We can get your bitches, you can't get ours unless you pay us some money. Oh yeah, by the way, y'all are the scammers, nigga. That YouTube and Facebook and all that Twitter and all those different platforms, y'all are the ones up there with Instagram model pictures, but it really be African booty scratchers like yourself scamming, trying to steal money. Y'all the niggas who be up in movie theaters bootlegging CDs and DVDs, nigga. Ain't nothing about being an African make American jealous, nigga. Ain't nothing about you or none of your people, Thomas and Babu, or no other African that can make me or none of my peeps jealous of you. Get that out your, get that inferior ass intellect.
You know, so Motisa over here, all he is saying is he doesn't realize he would forever be a slave. That's what he is to the Africans. The Africans that he said they ain't shit, they see you as a slave, and you can never remove that tag. And I'm here, you know, enjoying the advantages that the white man provide. The 14th Amendment allows me to become a U.S. citizen, which, by the way, the blacks, you guys, you didn't become citizens till 1868. You are no different than me. You are not aborigine to this land. You know, don't be mad at me that I'm smart enough to come here and become an American citizen. You see this flag behind me? You see that flag? Yes, I agree with you. We're both Americans. But the Africans are better than you, sir. Because you would forever be.
No, the fuck you not, nigga. You, first of all, you not smart.
Lord, let him finish.
Because, see, the advantage I have is, right, you know, despite him thinking I can come from my mud hut. Imagine a guy coming from his mud hut and flying to America, becoming a citizen and running circles all around you. In fact, teaching you the King's English, and you are light skin. Sir, you are wasting that 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 light skin.
Can Pan Africanism work? Before we even get to all your answers, do we have a choice? And before that, let's talk about what Pan Africanism is. So Pan Africanism was created in the 20s, 30s, maybe a little bit before then, and it's supposed to be everybody from the African race coming together to gain power, basically. Initially, it was called Pan-Negroism, but they changed that because they thought that the Libyans, the rest of the North Africans would be alienated if we called it Pan-Negroism. So from the very onset of it, there was a mistake, because who gives a damn? We know them people ain't our friends in North Africa at all. So it should have been Pan-Negroism from the very beginning, meaning a black ideology, a race ideology over a landmass ideology. Let's talk about other groups. Do other groups unite amongst race? Yes and no. The biggest race uniters are the Western Europeans. Now, they've had issues in many, many wars. WW2, in fact, was them killing each other by the millions. So let's not act like other people don't kill each other and go to war against their own race. But mostly when it comes to other people, the Western Europeans are united against us. In fact, all Europeans, Eastern and Western, are united in the fact that they don't want blacks around them or any other darker races because they won't be left. And they choose each other over other people first, usually. Even beyond the whites, let's look at the Asians, the Orientals. The Chinese and the Japanese hate each other. They hate each other. And Taiwan, Japan, South Korea versus North Korea, China, and whoever else over there. They are about to go to war. That's a whole nother story. There is some Western influence behind that. The white man pulling the strings behind the scenes. But Asians do come together along racial lines in the Western Hemisphere. If you come into America, you're just Asian, and they usually unite on that fact. It's Asian hate standing against black people supposedly kicking their ass. It's not this group or that group. They all unite on that. And one day they might unite totally upon race being Oriental. So they're even closer than us. But with the blacks, with the Negroes, all they do is fight each other and they hate each other. There is some legitimate concerns, but let me get to this first. Amos Wilson always said that blacks do tribalism and they hate and fight each other because they're scared to take on the real issues. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Look at the Ethiopian thing. They just want to war with each other. Amhara versus Tigray, a few others, whatever. They went to war and killed 500,000 people of their own kind, while the Arabs to the north and to the east of them were coming at their necks about them building that dam. It was a setup from the beginning. Our enemies know our weakness. It's tribalism. But deep down on a subconscious level, why do we do tribalism? It's because we're scared to take on the real issues. That's just the truth. Case in point here in Black America, all this tribalism nonsense, and there's real issues, and I'll get to that in a minute. We got our own youth killing each other all day, every day. 18, 19, 20, 21 shooting each other every night, every night, every night, every night. After that, we got the cops shooting us all the time and not going to jail, not being prosecuted for it at all. And then comes the issues with the black immigrants cooning. But you look at these groups and their number one task is all the black immigrants. It's the black immigrants. We got to get rid of them, yada, yada, yada. Truth of the matter is black Americans are done fighting as a collective. They just accepted that they're going to be third-class Americans and they're going to sit down, cry about racism here and there, but they're just going to fight other black people because they're too scared to take on Mr. Charlie. It's the same way in South Africa. Those are my people. I understand them. Other Africans get mad at them, but hey, they're done fighting. They gave black people the power, and black people got up there and they ain't do nothing but steal all the money and not build nothing. So they like, hey, why would we kick the white people up? They're the only people giving us jobs. There's a truth to that. There's a truth to that. But then on the flip side, they start killing Zimbabweans and Nigerians just for meeting them on the corner or wrong place, wrong time, and they just killed them. But you know damn well you ain't gonna kill Van Winkle. Black people are scared to take on their real problems. That's why they take tribalism. Okay. Now let me get to the other flip side of the coin. Why I feel for the South Africans, and they're just like us, my American black people. They tried that Pan Africanism stuff. They said open the doors, we're all black people, all y'all come in here, we're gonna hold hands and skip through the tulips and all that, yada yada yada. The mother Africans came into South Africa and they started selling drugs, kidnapping women, killing them, chopping up their body parts, selling their body parts, and just all together mayhem. So the South Africans is like, yo, fuck Pan Africanism. We let these Africans in here and they start cutting up. They ain't give a damn about us. I hear where you coming from. The same thing over here in Black America. I thought we was all brothers, especially with the Caribbeans. All them Caribbeans that came up here in the 1920s, 1930s, there was no difference. They linked up right with us. One of our greatest leaders was Marcus Garvey. He wasn't worried about he's a Caribbean and he's that and he's this and he's that. He had a full racial ideology, and that's the culture of American blacks. Race comes first. But we have to understand it's not like that with other groups. Other groups, other black groups don't give a damn about race. Their religion, their nationality, their politics, whatever. And then black comes at the very bottom, if at all. We got to be honest about that. We can't unite with everybody. Now, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater and saying, oh, I'm an American black, God bless America, and yada, yada, yada. Don't call me an African. I'm an American. Bullshit. We got allies on the continent. Not everybody, but we got allies. If we really got into the shit, there's groups we could go to and be like, yo, we need this, we need that. Even we need resources. We need to buy 200,000 cows because we're going to need to feed ourselves if we get into a situation like that, Ukraine or Palestine. We're going to need to feed ourselves. Who's going to feed us? That's my issue with the American black. They don't think about feeding themselves and taking care of themselves. They want Mr. Charlie to do everything for them and then cry about Mr. Charlie being racist towards them. Nah. We do have allies on the continent. We do have people we can go to and get stuff. But to be honest, if we was over here getting massacred like them Palestinians, a lot of Africans wouldn't give a half a fucking shit about us. I've had this conversation. We got Africans that love us, that would help us in an instant. When I was there, they told me, don't even go back to America. Just stay here. We'll find you a wife and then you could become a citizen and you just stay with us. We got allies on the continent. But we have to be real about this thing. Everybody is not our ally. Everybody doesn't come from the culture that we come from. People scream, Africans scream, culture, 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 culture. But they don't know what culture is. They think culture is doing a little stupid dance and some food. Culture is how you think as a group in your institutions. The culture of American blacks and a few of the Caribbeans is race comes first. We are black people. We are all black people. We are brothers. I can't. Most Nigerians don't have that ideology. Somalians don't want that ideology at all. Being honest here, we can't unite with Somalians. They're gone. And a few of these other nations, they might have to go too. We can't unite with everybody. But we do have allies. We can unite with some people. I suggest Southern Africa because their history is more like ours with being oppressed by white people, but not just that. But the thing is, they united in the 80s and the 90s, and they went to war and died together as brothers. South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, they were all sending soldiers to fight. No other Africans ever did that before. We do have allies, but we gotta be honest about it. Not everybody wants to unite amongst race. And we gotta be honest about one more thing here. What I learned in Africa and stepping back, you have a lot of you get a lot of love as a black American coming to Africa. A lot of people just want to hear about the stories and your culture and yada yada yada. They really have an affinity to us, but about 20%, it's a small percentage, but about 20% you're going to get animosity as well. A lot of the other Negroes on the plantations is jealous of us. They could be mad as much as they want, but a lot of them are very, very jealous of us. They don't got the history that we have. We did more in 100 years than some of these people have done in 1,000 years. And some of these people's whole history. Gotta be honest now. We've outdone them. The people who sold us as slaves, their homelands look terrible. Now, all of Africa does not look terrible. You go to Botswana, you go to Rwanda, you go to Namibia, you go to some of these other places. They have beautiful countries, roads. There's issues with employment, but there's a beautiful country. It's livable. You go to some of these other people's places, man, dog, you ain't even got a road. You can't even keep electricity on. It's just mud roads everywhere. Of course you have animosity and hate us. We would never let our people live like that. But your fathers and your elders sit up there and let you have mud roads and no electricity going out. And then you got this chip on your shoulder and you all mad at us. You ain't nothing and yada, 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 yada. Bro, you come from a shithole. I don't care about your feelings being hurt. Rwanda's beautiful. Rwanda looks better than some European countries. Botswana is a well-functioning country, and they get 50% of all of their resources, while other places get 2, 3, 4, 5% of their resources. All African countries are not the same. All Africans are not the same. All black people are not the same. And we can't unite with everybody. It's just the honest to God truth. Some of these people are jealous of us, talking about there would be no civil rights if it wasn't for them. And there are people coming, man, stop, bro. I'm sorry to hurt your feeling, but you should be doing way better down in that island. Barbados is doing great. That's what happens when people care about each other and they want to build. But when you don't give a damn about your people, you don't care if they living in the mountains and shacks and y'all got mud roads everywhere. It's just the truth about it. There's a lot of jealousy towards the American African. I'll always be an African. I'm not going to deny 100,000 years of history, the greatest history along the Nile and the entire planet so far, and throw that away for some bullshit in 1776. But I love my people, the American African. We've gone toe to toe with the giant and told him to kiss our ass. So yeah, I'm gonna walk with a little bit of pep in my step. And I gotta say, a lot of y'all are jealous. Now, if you want us to pass the ball and you want to take over and you want to be the leaders of the black race, here you go. But the truth about it is, don't nobody want to do that. Africans don't want to unite. If you say, hey, you know what? Y'all got 3 million people in your country. You got 4 million people in your country. They got 5 million over there. You can't fight these other groups, these other large countries like that. Why don't y'all unite and become a federation? They'll be like, hell no, we'll never unite with that country. I'll never unite with them. And these people have a blood relation. Same thing with the Caribbean. The whole Black Caribbean should be united. All of it should be one thing with one Caribbean president. They don't want to do that. They want their little intricate little fake power and looking down on the next Negro. That's what black people like to do. They like to look down on the next black person and then take orders from Mr. Charlie or whoever else. These Arabs, Indians, and now the Chinese, whoever. I ain't even mad. I ain't talking about them other groups. I'm talking about us. We're a subservient, kiss-ass race, and worst of all, we like to lie to ourselves. All black people are doing bad. Some of us individually are doing very well, but as a collective, everywhere you go, black people are fucked up. Everywhere you go. Maybe here, maybe there, it's a difference, but mostly no. We're all doing bad. And why is that? Because I've been in Africa and I've been in black people's mansions with the Jaguar out front. It's because as a collective, they don't give a damn about us. The leaders don't give a damn about us. The president don't give a damn about them. The ruling party don't give a damn. And that's the difference between us and other groups. So what do we got to do? We got to find birds of a feather. Okay, these black people, they get it. They have a culture like us. They say that they are black. They resonate with black people. They have heroes. Some black people don't have heroes. Everybody don't got a Steve Biko. Some of them not even fighters. They don't even have great thinkers and writers. Their whole history is being subservient and taking orders from the white man and slave trade, and that's the greatness of their history. Of course they hate us. We invented cars. We helped invent the light bulb. Of course you're going to be jealous of us and know we can't unite with them. They have a shithole mentality and they come from a shithole country with people who don't give a damn about them. We got to let a lot of black people go. I know that hurts, but we got to let a lot of black people go. We can't unite with them. And on the flip side, I'm not getting close to Mr. Charlie and fucking pledging allegiance to the flag while this place got a target on me and looking to end us completely with all these illegals in here. Nah, I know what it is. It's black first, and the culture is we are black and we're for the black race first. And if you with that, then we can unite with you. But if you ain't with that, you gotta go. You stay over there. That's what it is. But I'll never, we might have some little issues, but the Caribbeans are always going to be my brothers. We've been through too much. Our ancestors have been through too much fighting back and uniting and going to literal war and shedding blood to get over some dumb shit and to fight about a goddamn Grammy award from Mr. Charlie given to you. You Negroes make me sick. But the black man don't want power. And that's the real issue. But the struggle continues. We're going to unite upon blackness and black ideology. That's the call. Black power. 1. And let me just add on one more thing real quick here. More than likely, there's no way that we become a strong race of people without uniting. We're never going to do great things like the Orientals have done, what China has done, what Japan has done, what Western Europe has done, what the English has done, what the Germans have done. We're never going to do that individually on our own. Them people went to war and killed millions of their own people. The thing about the black race is we've never had a black ideology. That's one of the weakest points. You see, if England goes down, that's not the end of the white race. They still got Germany, France. If all of Europe goes down, they still got America and Australia. You see, when Kemet and Kush fell, that was the end of the black race. There was never a black ideology, and there was never a need to spread knowledge and power. That tribalism shit has been the weakest link of the black race, and that's why we've been wiped from history. So we don't really got a choice about uniting with some black people. We got to have a global network of trade amongst ourselves, and we got to have each other's back. We don't just sit there and let some European countries or whoever completely destroy an African nation that's on code and that's for black people, has a racial ideology. We don't just sit there and let them be destroyed and sit back and say, oh, well, not my problem, not my tribe. No, hell no. No. If France got invaded by them Western African countries, if France invaded them and then they retaliated them, man, the rest of Western Europe will rise up and stomp them West African countries out. They ain't gonna let you just stomp out a white country. And they can't stand the French. We gotta have that ideology. The race comes first. And if you don't have that ideology, fuck you, goodbye. Go over there with the Somalians. Live in dust and squalor for another 500,000 years while we pass you up. That's what it is. The struggle continues.